Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Epstein, the founder of the Living Lotus Group, your outer resource for inner growth. And today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to make decisions with confidence and ease. And I'm going to talk to you about, share 4 steps really to make decisions from a more aligned place in your body, mind, and spirit. So to really get comfortable with making decisions out of love rather than out of fear. And I know we've had experiences of making decisions from a fear-based place, and we all know how that works out, not so well sometimes. So it's important to really learn how to tap into your inner knowing and to really make these decisions from a place of confidence and power. Before I go into the 4 steps, I just want to mention what confidence is. And my definition of confidence is really a full-on belief in yourself that you're willing to take risks and take action from a more aligned place and to really treat yourself in a healthy and balanced way. So, as I said, making decisions from this high place can really help ground us into who we are and into the life we're really meant to live. So trust in yourself, believe in yourself and your ability to figure things out and learn how to make decisions from a confident place. So we're going to talk about the 4 steps. And I'm going to encourage you to practice the 4 steps and in small decisions as well as making larger decisions. Really get to learn and to know these 4 steps and gateways, I like to call them, run through any decisions through these 4 gates. And you're going to really become an expert at this and feel so much more grounded and aligned with your decisions. So let's jump in. So step number one is I tell people, I share with my clients, is really learn what yes or what no feels like in your body. You want to get very clear in what a yes feels like and what a no feels like. And I'll give you a couple of examples. We've all had the experience of being presented an opportunity and we go, oh, hell yes, I'm in. And conversely, we've had an experience of presented with an opportunity and immediately first reaction is, no, it doesn't feel right, not aligned. And that's all before the inner voices or inner critic starts having their say with us. So learning to know your inner reaction, your body's wisdom, what a yes feels like. And a lot of people feel it in their gut, feel it in their heart, but you're going to learn what is specific to you, where you feel that yes, maybe it's in your little pinky, I don't know. But learning to accept and learn about yourself and your own reaction is going to be a very helpful tool. Now, it's said the body doesn't lie. The body has the innate wisdom. And some people turn to external tools like using a pendulum to get a yes or no answer, or even kinesiology, muscle testing. Some people use the finger test. But I've found that it's really the most powerful way is to just sit and learn what it feels like in your body, where your reaction is. And practicing is a very important way of learning to really know your body. And I'm going to give you an example. What you can visualize door A or door B. And imagine that you are going through a particular doorway, and on the other side of it is what you're looking at making your decision about, choice A or choice B. And see yourself walking up to door A, and you open the door, seeing what's on the other side, and then see if you see or feel a feeling of expansion, conversely, a feeling of contraction. And sometimes it's instantaneous before the monkey mind or the thinking mind steps in to have its way with us. But learning, is it expansive or is it a contractive feeling? And this, again, because this inner knowing is a muscle and strengthening it is very helpful to really learn how to make these decisions from a more grounded and empowered place. So envision choice A, choice B, and expansion or contraction. And of course, sometimes when we're really emotionally invested in a decision, that's a harder place to get a clear answer. So I just invite you to practice with smaller decisions and learn to know your first insight, and then give yourself time to align with the whole feeling of choice A, choice B, or choice C, whatever you're faced with. So again, getting clear and learning what your body feels like in each moment will really help you to strengthen this. And again, it's important to remember this is more a feeling exercise than a thinking exercise. So I hope that helps you. That's step one, getting to know your body. Now, step two is, you may have heard this before. This is a common thing I used to share with my kids when they were growing up. Ask yourself, step two is ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? And what I want you to do is get all your fears out. And it's really a better way to do this exercise is to write it out on paper and to see the worst that could happen is I go bankrupt, or this person never speaks to me again, or whatever it is. What's the worst that can happen? Now, a lot of people stop at this step. The next step after this, or the next part of this step, is to ask, what would I do if the worst does happen? So if it indeed is I go bankrupt, maybe the next step is, okay, then I get a bridge job, or I find a way of working part-time and bringing in some more money, or whatever that is. So step two is asking, what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst that could happen? Write down what steps you would take to offset those steps. What if the worst that happens, what would I do in case it does happen? And then look at your options. And again, writing it down gives you the visual, a very helpful way of seeing, okay, how would I deal with it? How would I deal with it? What would I do next? So again, it's really a wonderful way to have it visualized. Years ago, I used to write down pros and cons. When I was a younger person, maybe in college, and I was faced with making decisions, I would write down simply the pros and cons. This is kind of that with an added bonus of really knowing the worst, the worst that could happen, and what would I do to deal with it. So visual is the key, and handwriting it down. Get the fears up and out of you, because as Mark Twain, I think, said, that most of the fears are things that never happened to us, or I'm paraphrasing, but really, what is the worst that could happen? And learn to just see it on paper, and then how will I deal with it? Very helpful. Now we're going to go on to step three. And step three is fun because it really gives you a chance to expand your vision. Step three is, what's the best that can happen? What is the most amazing things? And understand that sometimes when you write out the best that could happen, you may see fears or hear fears that crop up, and really to be on top of what those fears are. And I'll give you an example. What you want to do is write, what's the best that can happen? Well, I make a lot of money and I have freedom to travel and I do that. And writing it down is powerful. What's the best that can happen? I make a lot of money and I have freedom in my life. I can pay off debts, or whatever your your version of what's the best that could happen. And then what you want to do is write down, what will I learn? How will I grow? And what would happen in my life, this expanded vision, if it actually came to fruition? And again, what I said was sometimes you'll see fears crop up. Well, so-and-so might be mad at me because I'm not going to be playing it small anymore, and they might think I'm showing off. But again, learn to distinguish these inner voices and challenge them. So powerful, powerful stuff. See the expanded vision. What would my life be like if this were to come true? And then work with any fears or negative voices or critical voices that might come up in that. So, and number four, sometimes we're faced with making such a huge life-changing decision that the first three gates we can't even get clear on. So number four is really a good way to test the water. Dip your toe into the water, so to speak. Number four is test it out, try it out. Try one little step first. And I'll give you an example. If you're thinking of moving and you want to relocate, for instance, I have a client that relocated to Europe, living in the United States. So we worked out a plan to test it out first. And so what she did was she went over for a few weeks and stayed in a lovely place, an Airbnb, in the city she wants to relocate, and started to feel the lay of the land, and then come back. And she came back and then took the steps to talk to her employer and make her plan to move over. But she really wanted to have the experience first because she didn't want to make the full-on leave her job and just go up to this unknown place. Trying it out is a very helpful way, especially with a major decision. And I want to give you another example of test it out. Another of my clients was in the corporate world for 26 years, had this great, amazing corporate job and pretty high-powered, well-paying job. But as she called it, it was soul-sucking. And she was at an age where she wasn't ready to retire, but wanted to live more fulfilled and a more purpose-filled life. She wasn't getting fulfilled in this corporate job. She knew it well. She could do it in her sleep. She was busy and really took care of things. And she was well-liked and well-respected at her job, but it wasn't fulfilling her anymore. So what we did was we created a step-by-step plan for her to eventually leave her job. And what she did was she gave her employers, went to talk to her employers several months before she was planning on leaving, and said to them, listen, I'm going to be leaving in 4 or 5 months, whatever month's time, and here's what I want to do. I want to begin to come in part-time or a per diem and help you train the person who's going to take my place. Well, they loved that for a lot of reasons, because first of all, they didn't need to pay her full-time salary anymore. And second of all, they still had her knowledge and her commitment and her dedication to really teaching the next person, the replacement person, all of her responsibilities and the way she does the job. And because they know she's a person of integrity, they knew that she was going to get the job done. So they offered her a very, very wonderful severance and a wonderful package to be able to do this. So she was able to scale back her hours there and commit to her self-growth and her self-care, her self-love, while simultaneously beginning to pursue other lines of work that were more fulfilling. And she got a certificate in helping people who were in the process of dying, or helping families who had a member of the family in the process of dying, and to help them really soothe them and care for them and help them through this very, very tender and powerful process. So, but it was so fulfilling to her. It so spoke to her heart. She took courses and certifications and learned how to just volunteer at hospice. And it was so, I can't even tell you how wonderful it was for her. So again, it's a really powerful way to dip your toe into the water to see how things will work out. And again, when this is a life-changing decision and you're not ready to go in all in, test the waters first. Try it out. Test it little bites, one step at a time, and make a plan. So you can ask, what one step can I do now to move me closer to my dream, to my goal? And find it. So just to sum up the 4 gates, the 4 ways of learning how to make powerful decisions is, number 1, listen to your body. Get to know yes, get to know no. Does it feel expansive? Does it feel contractive? Learn what that feels like and try it in little situations as well as even bigger situations. Trust yourself. Learn how your body will tell you the answers. Step 2 is, what's the worst that can happen? Worst case scenario, write it down, get all of your fears out on paper so that they're looking at you. And then further step on that is to write down, okay, what would I do if that happens? And you really can see the process in a healthier and more balanced way. That way it's out of your mind and it's more aligning your head, your heart, and your entire body in the process. And step 3, ask, what's the best that can happen? What will I do if this actually happens? Wow, I would feel so, fill in the blanks. And really embody what you will feel like if that comes to fruition. And lastly, step 4, if none of the first 3 you're ready to do that big leap yet, just try it first. Take one step. That's how you climb a mountain, one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other. So test it out, try it out. Lastly, I just want to say, learn to trust in yourself. There will always be external distractions, noises, people telling us, no, you can't do that, no, you shouldn't do that, well, this won't work, and all those naysayers. But learn how to believe in yourself. Be kind to yourself, be compassionate, and be open and expansive to what the universe has in store for you. And really learn to trust that you have the coping skills to get to the next step, to the next level in your life. I wish you much love, much luck. I hope this video was helpful. I'd love it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out Living Lotus Group, join our tribe, livinglotuscoaching.com, livinglotusgroup.com, or send me a message at Catherine@livinglotusgroup.com. Thank you again. Love to you all.